Hey, I'm James Okungu, host of Cocktails and Conversations. There are a lot of people who live in America who've never been to Africa, never been to the motherland. And the people over there in the motherland who've not had the chance to come to the States. So today, I'm having a conversation with two such people. An American who's never been to Africa, and a guy from Kenya who's never been to the States. This is going to be pretty interesting. You don't want to miss it. Grab your cocktail. Let's join in on the conversation. This is Cocktails and Conversations, and I'm James Okungu.
This is quite interesting. All right, so we have two people who've never met ever, different sides of the world, right? So we want to explore some of the dynamics, or Sean, who's never been to Kenya, Stanley, who's never been to the States, and just let's explore what that is like. Like, Sean, in your mind, when you think about the motherland, or Africa, or Kenya in particular, where that's where I'm from as well. What does it look like in your mind?
Oh,
And just don't give us textbook definition. We just wanna, like, in your mind, like if someone tells you paint me a picture, what would that look like?
I feel like it looks a lot nicer than my neighborhood. um, I live like in the inner city, so we have like a lot of the houses are like really close together. A lot of possums and raccoons running around. But I just feel like somewhere like in Africa, and this could be completely naive, I've never been there. I just feel like there's a lot more space and nature, and a lot cooler out there, and I actually don't like it. So I don't know. It sounds pretty good. Sounds better than if you could see my view. I'm like literally looking at a brick wall across the street right now, or across the alleyway right now. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of space. Like, isn't
Interesting. Stanley, okay, let's put up for a little bit of time what's currently going on with the protests, and the demonstrations going on about civil rights abuses here. But typically on a normal day, as if we even have anything that's normal these days, what does that American experience look like from where you stand?
Of late, the experience we have is funny because you find we had this positive aspect, or like how we view America, but with the protest, it's really showing a lot of negativity. It's just like what I would say is it's a third world with a good military. That's how it looks to us nowadays. Yeah, you see the protest everywhere. Yeah. The police brutality, it happens here. Right. So it's nothing like it's new. We had one 2 weeks ago, but nobody spoke about it. And now seeing what happened to George Floyd, it happens to many people who come from shanties, what you call ghetto in America.
Right, and interestingly enough, people were tear gas after the White House last week. So it's not quite different.
Yes, that's so African. You steal election, you tear gas people, and then we move on.
I kind of feel like other countries are like looking at the U.S. right now, like what the hell's going on? I mean, obviously,
correct.
Obviously, there's like crime and like injustice in other places, but since the U.S. is already on such high pedestal, and people are always like looking at the U.S. to see what's going on, especially in the last few years because there's been a lot going on here. But it's like it's weird to kind of think about that this like stuff is happening everywhere. It's not in the U.S. It's like in Africa and Kenya too, and it's kind of like it's kind of weird to think about like the different dynamics of it, you know, because like here, like it's so, I mean, the experience can be like so drastically different based on like, where you are, who you are, like, you know what I'm saying, like what you want to do with your life, with your
So
life.
why do you sound so white? So that's before asking about that. How does that? What kind of reaction do you give? How does that make you feel? Like, is it something you get a lot? Tell us about that.
People actually say that about me. Not as much anymore because we're all grown now, but I've definitely gotten that like hella times. Really not much. I never really like took or like or sort of like reaction.
Sorry, you're breaking up a bit.
Hold on, I think my headphones are coming up. But yeah, I used to get a lot, and I don't know. I never really like emotional either way. But I guess the kind of older you get, the more you think about it. It's sort of like obviously if it was on Insecure, like they're clearly like poking fun at the situation, but it's like it's a weird thing to say because it kind of insinuates that, you know, if you sound white, well, do Caucasian people just sound smarter? Or I don't know. It's kind of demeaning, like when you say that to a black person, as if it's like as if like, you know what I mean? Like, but I never really looked at it that way. I just kind of didn't pay much attention to it. But
It's just like, oh, this is just the way I speak. I've just always spoken like this. It's never been like, oh my goodness, one day I wake up and think, okay, you know what? I'm gonna sound like this. Is
exactly. So yeah, I never made like a conscious effort to be like, okay, I'm gonna. I don't even know. I don't know. This is just like my natural like way of speaking. So definitely not like a deliberate thing to try and sound like more white or professional or whatever. But especially now with race relations being like so highlighted across, especially in the US. I don't think anybody's really saying it anymore, but if they did, it'll probably be pretty clear everything that's going on, you know.
Gotcha. Let me bring Stanley in on this. Stanley, so a lot of flack that people get, people who moved out of the country get from Kenyans, and I've gotten a bit of this as well, is that I've been in the States for about 10 years now, is that people after a while start sounding different, and people back home look at it like, oh my God, you know, now you're wanging, you're twanging, oh, you're sounding so American. You know, it's like, it's always assumed that somebody's faking the way the mannerisms and the way they sound and stuff like that, trying to distance himself from being Kenyan, being African, and trying to be more westernized. What you thought about that? And for those people who have never, say, left the country and don't speak as a typical Kenyan, or it is not like a typical Kenyan, but I know you understand what I mean. They don't speak plain, almost like a UK influenced English, but they have some sort of like American accent and stuff like that. What's your attitude towards such people?
Okay.
Kind of people.
You know, it's funny that how people view this situation is people are training like they are pretending. And why so? Because when you go to America, you get an accent. When you go to the UK, you gain an accent. But when you go to China, you don't get an accent. So it baffles. It's baffling. Now, you know, I have traveled in many countries in Africa.
Yes, right.
And funny thing is, I go to some countries like Uganda. You know how they have this heavy accent?
Yeah.
But they will always tell you have a Kenyan accent. Then in my mind, I'm like, I didn't know we have an accent. Like the whole of Kenya, we have an accent that is just Kenyan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. So my view is it's acquired.
The first times I came here, like, sorry, you know, add something?
No, continue.
Like the very first time I came to the States, first of all, one of my first experiences, like I realized that Apple has just been JJ James, you know, it's just been, you know, me doing my own thing, and then suddenly I'm here, and within a few days I realized that wait, there's something different about you. You're actually black, and for the first time I was living somewhere which was I was a minority. I spent about 2 years in Indiana, which is not as cosmopolitan as New York City. Then something I also quickly realized is that, you know, I would show up to order food at a restaurant, something like that, and I'd be trying to you know, say what I want, and the people would genuinely have no idea what I'm saying. Like I would say, give me a cheeseburger, and I kid you not, this person would try to be helpful and say, you want a what? And I'd be like, I just used to point at that point, because in my mind, I was like, okay, this is how people start faking accents. You know, if I said, say, burger over here, then, you know, within no time I'll be sounding different. Then, you know, the Kenyan people say I sound different. I'd be a bit, you know, and I'm not, Americans will still not understand me fully, you know. But over time, you know, to get my point across, I just you have to tweak the way you sound because you want to get understood better, you know. Like let's do something fun here. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, Sean, the thing that and Stanley, you have to be honest. You're gonna hear his answers, but you have to answer it the way you answer it. Okay, so no cheating. Okay. Okay, so Sean, let's go first. Okay, so the thing that you put in a wine bottle that you open and you have to take it out, what do you call that?
A cork.
All right, the drink that it's from the company, it's called?
What?
It's not Sprite, it's...
Oh, Coke.
The thing the drug that was whatever?
Coke.
Pardon?
All right, so pronounce all three. Let's hear all three. Wine,
Cork,
Coke.
Okay, let's I want to hear how you pronounce it. So, how do you say the wines? I'm your quick, Sean.
Cork.
The drink,
Coke.
and then the drug,
Also Coke.
all right. And then like when in the summertime, you go to it has sand in it and stuff like that.
Eats.
And then a female is sometimes in rap songs referred to as a bi. How you pronounce that? I pronounce that. Discover it. Don't overthink it.
Bitch.
So just say the two words together. I mean, next one after the other.
So
Sand.
a beach and you have a bitch. And sometimes you're on a beach.
That honestly, just how do we pronounce it, or how do we say it? Or we can't say the same, right? How would you say the three? Okay, the wine. How would you pronounce that? Stanley.
Oh, Coke.
And then how would you pronounce the drink?
Coke. Sorry, the first one is Coke.
Okay, the second one.
Coke.
And then
Coke. The Coke.
I see you say Coke. You're like, what?
Coke. Yeah, Coke.
Funny story. I have this friend. She's now been in the US and Canada for about 6 years, and she was telling her colleagues the way Kenya has very beautiful beaches. They're like, we have very, very beautiful beaches. They're big and they're wide, and the beaches. And they're like, we said, what? And everybody was laughing, and she's like, oh no. That's why she actually want to say Kenya had beautiful beaches, you know. that's like something I find really. So it's like, you know, that's how somebody's pronunciation and the emphasis on vowel sounds changes over time. Let me ask you all something else here. So the N word. Nigga, I can't pronounce. There's two pronunciations. There's GGA. There's GGER. I hope I pronounced it right. Right. Yeah. You said he's doing stand up, right? And sometimes I'm just trying to. I don't really care. I mean, in different situations, I want to say one or the other, but I think I pronounce them the same. You know. So let me ask Sandy this first of all. Like Kenyans sometimes use this word freely. You know. with their friends, and they just throw it I've seen on the internet a bunch of times and stuff like that. And kind of like, tell us more about the usage. Let me ask you, what's your been experience with this? What do you use it? How do you see your friends use it? And how do you see Kenyans generally use it? Sadly.
Oh, it's me. Okay. Nigga, the word nigga.
Yes.
It's a friendly term anywhere. Very friendly. Yeah. Like I would call my friend you nigga. What's
Right.
up, nigga? Like now music videos, our hip hop videos, it's all over the place. Like
Right.
either bra or nigga.
And
That's the most commonly used word.
Go ahead, Chan.
Yeah, so that word is very sticky here. So obviously, like if you're black, right? If you're a black person in America, especially if you grow up in the inner city, people definitely use that word. I would definitely describe it as friendly. Like it's interchangeable with bro. Like people say shit like, what's up, my nigga, like all the time.
Right.
However, I would definitely stress that it's only a friendly word if you're black. Like you can't say it like if you. I mean, I hear like Spanish people say it sometimes. I don't know why, but it's only friendly like if you're a black person. But then also it's like even within like the black community, like. I mean, it's a word that I'll occasionally use, but depending on who I'm talking to, like even other black people, like kind of like feel weird about it, like depending on like, that background, like how they're raised, et cetera, et cetera. If they're like super, they're just like super, what's the word I'm looking for? They're super like straight laced, like I've had people say to me like, hey, like don't say that to me, like don't call me that, but very few and far in between, but it's definitely something that every time I say, like, I'm definitely conscious of it. And I can go into a whole background about like, like the whole dynamic of me like growing up in like the hood in Philly and then like working in like a super professional like environment where I have to like catch myself sometimes and be like, oh, that's not a good word to use like at work right now. But yeah, it's definitely something that is always like filtered. I always have to think about it before I say it, and that's probably just, or maybe it's just me, but yeah, especially now, like especially now, like I don't know, it's just it's a little sticky, It's a little sticky.
Do you, for my benefit, a little benefit of people, could you pronounce the DGA and DGER?
Okay, this is the second point. Nigga, GGA.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can say if you're black. Nigger, not so much.
So the emphasis is on, you put a heavy R at the end.
Yeah. So GGA as opposed to ER. Yeah. So when you R is just very like, I don't know, like I don't have enough like textbook knowledge on like Black history right now to like explain the origin of
GG. I understand. Yeah.
But it's a general consensus among all Black people that when you use at least in the U.S., when you use EER, that's like, well, first of all, no Black person ever uses EER unless they're being like ironic.
Right.
But that it's almost like two separate words. Like nigga, GTA is like, hey bro, like what's up? And nigger, like on the other hand, is like, okay, I'm deliberately trying to offend you and like be racist. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you say bugger like I did, and you're just like, hey, I'm trying to say differentiate them. Let's talk about music videos and hip hop culture, which Stanley touched on a bit. Like Sean, you have no idea. I don't know, maybe you do, about how much American content is outside in the world. America produces so much. Obviously, see on Netflix and everything. Hollywood is big. New York production stuff like that. Stanley, tell us about the influence of or on American culture, especially hip hop culture, on everyday Kenyan life. Like how prevalent that. Sean has never been to Africa. He's never been to Kenya, and I'm sure there's a lot of Sean's out there who are watching this and just thinking that, all right, like I've never been in this place. He described what he thinks it's like, but kind of like how influential hip hop culture is and American culture generally is on the lifestyle of Kenya.
First of all, something Sean should understand about Kenya is the internet penetration is wide. Like
Really?
we have, yes, every house have almost like in town center we have almost 75% of internet penetration.
Huh.
That said, now we have internet content like internet protocol television. We have YouTube, we have Netflix, we have Hulu, we have all this kind of content. Now, hip hop is, unlike other countries, Kenya identify more with hip hop. Like you go to Tanzania, they listen to their own music called bongo, which is more of a like R&B, but in Kiswahili, in Swahili. You go to Uganda, they have a lot of reggaeton. More identifying with the Jamaica, the Caribbeans. But in Kenya, we listen more to rap. You understand? Like Tupac, we listen to Chris Brown, stuff like that. And with that such of kind of influence, we speak like hip hop stars. We dress like hip hop stars. We sort of have this hip hop culture in us. Like it's the in thing. It's the coolest. It's the cool thing to do. You understand?
Yeah, I get it. I think here, specifically talking about Black people, is probably sort of the same. People generally listen to hip hop, obviously R&B. That definitely has a heavy influence over here. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually like heard any organic like grassroots like music from Kenya. You know, it's just not something that like we're super exposed to like here unless you like seek it out. But I think I've heard like a few songs. I have a friend. She's from Ivory Coast. I don't know what the geographical like distances between. The more I talk, the more
Kenya and Ivory Coast.
And the sounds. I'm just, yeah, I don't know, but I've heard a few songs like rap or hip hop songs that she's like played in the background a couple of times, and they're always a vibe, yo. Like I fuck with them heavy, but yeah, like it's not something that's like super accessible. It's accessible with the internet, but it's not like super definitely like the vibe, so definitely like the vibe. Sure.
Awesome. It's very interesting. We'll come to the end of this conversation, unfortunately. Let me ask you something I've always wanted to do. To know, like, let's start with you, Stanley. Are there any like stereotypes you have yourself or you have encountered about Americans that you think like when you think about Americans, you're like, okay, you know, like from the movies or like in your own experience? What are some of those stereotypes that stand out for you? That stick out for you?
Americans are bullies. They are bullish. You know, I'm American. Fuck the rest of the world. You know.
You know what? You're completely 100% right.
Pardon?
Literally the American mindset. And it's because like not even referring to the current president who embodies what you just said perfectly. Politics aside, just his personality. But like I said, like in America, it's always America first. Like, I mean, it's just so embedded in the culture that you don't even like. A lot of people don't even have the aspiration to like seek out other cultures and stuff, because everything that they see, everything that they're exposed to here is like touted as like the best thing. So when you go to another country, like you have that arrogance, and it's just like you might not even know it, but it's just like very much like ingrained into the culture. And I definitely like it. I 1,000% agree with you. I think you're pretty safe describing any American like that.
No, it's true. American, I've dealt with Americans. I have seen it in even in movies and everything. Americans have this arrogance, bullish. You know, like I'm American first, like the president right now. Yeah, make America great again. Calling other countries shithole. You know.
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Make us view Americans in a negative aspect. But then we realized that America is just some other country where probably 70% of the people born America have never left their country. So they don't know if there's any other greater country out there.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, it's very true.
Sean, let's put a question to you. Same question. What stereotypes have you encountered about Africans that really stand out for you? Like may be true, may not be true. Stanley is here. He can confirm if they're not true.
Yeah. So, I would say for the most part, myself included, and likely many other people, they probably don't really have like a hard and fast like opinion on like how, you know, people in Kenya act, or like people in the UK act. And it's because like everything here is just like so exclusive, like
But
like,
go ahead.
I feel like we're not like super exposed to like other cultures, so people don't really have the bandwidth to like develop and about other countries. But having said that, I think when you bring up Africa or Kenya or wherever to an American, I mean, it's not great, but I think I think maybe like the subconscious thing that they think is, okay, well, this country is not advanced, right? Not as like technologically advanced, or, you know, infrastructure. Like I've had like people like say like really dumb things like, oh, in Africa, aren't there just like, you know, like animals and like lions like roaming freely around? but, you know, people really think that, and it's because like we're just like we said earlier, like in Kenya or wherever else, like America has a big footprint, like so people are exposed to like what our culture is. But it's not the same here. It's not. It's like unless you're like actively like and doing research on another place, or you're just like interested, like it's not something that's going to be like spoon fed to you unless you like look it up yourself. So a lot of people just have really like juvenile opinions of like other places, because it's just the way we're raised out here. I don't know, like
Do you have a response to that as we wind up?
Yeah, well, about
how many lines do you have? Can I see them behind you?
I wish I had, but
Right,
this is something you should know.
Right.
Nairobi has a national park, and the national park is actually less than a kilometer away from where I live right now, where I am right now. But I've never seen it.
How long does what is a kilometer? And
I should know this. A mile is, I'd mess it up and then I looked it up, but yeah, I could look it up. Anyway, yeah.
It's less than a half a mile, because it's 0.6 kilometers. Yeah, 1.6, yeah, exactly. So it's like 500 meters away.
That's
So
really
we have a national park. Yeah. But it's all protected. It's all protected round.
okay.
So no animal can come out.
Yeah. I just like,
But some places they have animals
Like where I'm
in the rural area.
You should
What?
go.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like where I'm from the USA, Uganda, Siaya, Alego. It's totally made up there. I come from such a remote place. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful the way God intended nature to be. I'm telling you, it's green as hell. You know, hell not green. It's green as fuck. I try to avoid that. It's really, really green. It's beautiful. In the mornings, you can hear hyenas. And the evenings, locals will tell you not to walk because hyenas will bite you in the behind. For real. And they seem to go for the behind because it's one of the most juicy parts. Aside from that, this is also a true story. I can look at it on Google. Sometimes the animals in Nairobi National Park actually come to the road. They actually get and the traffic and stuff like that. But you don't just have like a zoo animal staying in you and stuff like that. Americans do. Tiger King. Hello. One of the dumbest questions I ever got asked when I moved here. This was a straight up question. This guy was really serious. He's actually a very nice guy. He's like, "How did you get here?" And he waited until like we were just solo. And this is Indiana, so.
But it's crazy because I can remember like when I was in college like, a couple years ago. I was talking to this girl at a party and we're all drunk, and she was a white girl, and my friend at the time, well, he's still my friend, my roommate at the time, he was planning a trip to somewhere in Mexico. I can't remember the specific place he was going, but he planned a trip, and I and this girl were all talking about it. And I was like, he was saying he wants to go to this place and this place and this place when he gets there, and I'm like, well, how are you going to get around? And the girl's like, yeah, like, do they even have Uber out there? Or is it called Ubre with an R, like with the R and E like reversed? I'm like, it's probably not like what it is, but that like perfectly embodies like how many like Americans like look at other countries, just because, like he says, we have such a sense of entitlement that we just think everywhere else is inferior. It's just how it's kind of sucks, but
for the Americans you've had or personally who visited Africa, what countries have they been to? And let's wind up with you telling us that if you were to come to Africa, what country would you like to visit?
So a lot of people think Africa is a country.
Yeah, you said it.
Glad you didn't make that mistake. Many people are like, oh yeah, I want to go to Africa in a town called Kenya. Like.
So if I ever went to Africa, which I definitely plan on doing, when this whole coronavirus pandemic is over, definitely want to visit Ivory Coast. I also want to go to Kenya. I want to go everywhere. I just want to see it all. I just want to see every town in Africa, every state. All of it.
Every country, you mean? Stanley, if you had to come to the States, where would you like to visit?
New York.
When you come to the States.
I would want to come to New York, LA, Dallas, Miami.
Why Dallas?
Yeah,
I don't know. Texas, Dallas. Yeah. I have friends over there.
Texas, I would suggest definitely do Dallas, but also look into Houston or Austin. Those like lower key cities. Actually, Houston's pretty prominent, but Austin, a lot of people don't talk about, but Austin's pretty cool. If you like hippie.
You're in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, don't come here. Don't worry about it.
Why?
There's nothing here. There's nothing to see here.
It's a
But
city
there
of
are
brotherly
people.
love. It's a city of brotherly love.
There are people.
It's pretty cool. But
Go
you're
ahead.
comparing or like New York. I mean, they're both like big cities, but New York is bigger, so it's gonna be mostly the same experience. Except Philly is a little more homey, a little more small town feeling. But I mean, whatever. If you want to come here, that's fine.
Right. So, Stan,
Yes.
make a 15-second. Let's play ambassador right now. So make a 15 second invitation pitch to Sean to visit Africa. Like why you should come to Kenya. So like, hey Sean, you should come to Kenya because and you'll do this and this is good and whatever. And then we'll reverse that. Sean will do the same thing, and then we'll end the show. How about that?
Okay.
15
Why you
seconds.
should come to Kenya? Number one, to demystify the myth that you have, that we are backward, that we have animals everywhere, that our infrastructure is broken, that we don't have internet, that we have diseases. Secondly, to taste food. Third, it's important for you, like a black man, to connect to the root, because I know there's something about it you can't explain. You just have to feel. So that probably you might even relocate. I hear many Americans are going to Ghana, like they're relocating to Africa, because Africa is beautiful. But how the Western media and the perception out there is, we are a backward lot, which we are not.
I can't really speak to why that is, but that's definitely a fact. So if I had to give you a pitch for the U.S., it's kind of a tough thing to do right now. I'm pitching the U.S. But I mean, you can come, you can get a fucking hamburger, you can get called a nigger with an ER all day. I mean, the thing about the U.S. is that each state is like is very distinct. So you can come to the U.S. and you can go to New York and have a totally different experience than you would if you went to Florida or somewhere down south or somewhere on the West Coast. So I would say within like state or within a country, it's definitely really different, diverse cultures. I mean, it's not all the same. And I can't really, I don't know, I can't really brag about the food because I feel like a lot of American food is just pulled from other cultures. So, I mean, I would definitely come just to get the experience. And just to say, hey, I was an American when Trump was president. And that's I got out.
We have a travel restriction right now. Nobody can come to America, I think, for another 90 days.
Is that for real?
And probably Trump will have gone by then. Hopefully.
Who says? Guys, this has been really interesting. We have to do this again. Thank you guys for coming to the show. Thank you so much.